Brilliant and annoyingly talented. Finley Hill was born a healthy and happy baby on January the 19th, look at the baba, 2012. But when he was just 7 years old, he was diagnosed with a rare immune disease called HLH.
Since then, we have followed Finley's health battle as a show and have been there through the highs and the lows with the family.
The condition that Finn's got is very rare. In order to have a potential cure, Finley needs chemotherapy and a bone marrow transplant.
But in September 2019, Finley miraculously found a match.
We were told that they'd searched the world and there were 9 out of 10 matches for Finn in Brazil.
And catching up with Finley at Birmingham Children's Hospital after his transplant, things were looking up.
It's a long journey ahead. When we came in, we were expecting to come in for 3 months. We've done a month and he's done amazingly.
Finley got to ring the bell in July 2020. And last summer, he visited us again with his family to thank his donor, Jose.
Without Finn's donor having been on that register, he literally wouldn't be here now. Thank you is never going to be enough. How do you thank the person that has saved your world?
And we had a little surprise for them.
Well, that's everyone in the studio done. Finley, his mum Jo, his dad Paul, join us now with another update, with a wonderful update on Finley's story. Good morning to all.
So nice to see you, especially you. Good to see you. So obviously we saw there last time you were in. I mean, that was quite the moment, wasn't it? Jose had come all the way in from South America, and that hug meant everything. But of course, this transplant, these stem cells, it is life-changing. And at the time, that match was incredible. It was a 9 out of 10 match, which is very high. But there were still complications, weren't there?
There were. Unfortunately, since Finn's first transplant in November 2019, he had gradually been losing his donor cells. They did plateau for a while, so everybody breathed easy, and his team were happy that if he stayed between 40% and 50%, he would be OK. And then, unfortunately, nearly 2 years after it all started, he got COVID, and it dropped a big percent, and then about 6 months later, again.
So frustrating.
And so we were at a point where last September we discussed with his team the fact that really going forward we'd need to do another transplant.
So can we go back a step, and so people are watching this for the first time, can you explain Finley's condition and how you go about treating it? So what does the 10 out of 10 mean? Right,
so Finley's only hope of a cure for hemophagocytic lymphohistiocytosis, which is HLH, was chemotherapy and a bone marrow transplant. So they needed to wipe out his immune system, which wasn't working properly, and give him a whole new one from a donor. And that was always going to be a stranger donor, as Finn doesn't have any siblings. But in many cases, when somebody needs a transplant, it is a stranger donor that's needed anyway. So back in 2019, they searched the world, and there were 9 out of 10 matches in Brazil. And we were so lucky that it was Jose, because he's just the most wonderful guy. But when they decided to go again, they searched the world again. Well, having had a global pandemic, we didn't think there was a chance that anybody would have been added. So to find out that there was a 10 out of 10 in Portugal
is extraordinary.
Was amazing.
So the first person, one of the first people you rang and told was Jose, and you were a little bit nervous about doing that because you were just worried how he'd feel.
Well, not only had he given his cells to Finn the first time, he flew... on his only time he's ever left Brazil, he flew a 14-hour flight to come and meet us. And we've got such a special bond. The thought that we were going to go through it all again and it wasn't going to be with him, I didn't know how he'd take it. And he just said, I've been praying for a miracle and I feel like this is it. It's not about the donor, it's just about Finn and whatever it takes to get him well.
Amazing
so,
guy.
Obviously, like Brazil and Portugal, have got so many connections. So is that just fluke, or is that a genetic thing?
There must be a genetic thing. My mum and dad have bought me that ancestry test, and I just need to get round to doing it because we really want to know where that connection comes from. I'm feeling a pull to Portugal now.
You guys are never allowed to go on holiday anywhere.
No,
So December, Finley had his chemo, then he had the operation just before Christmas, on the 12th of December. 10th of January, you rang the bell to announce that you'd had a successful transplant. And this is that moment.
What a moment.
I know. Well done, you. And how are you feeling now?
I'm feeling much better than I did in December, and it was not a nice experience to go through,
No.
and I just hope it doesn't ever happen again.
Yeah.
It's
No,
just, I hope it doesn't happen to anyone else either, because it's just nasty.
a bit
Finley,
horrid,
do you feel better quite quickly? Like, can you feel the difference yourself in your body quite quickly as you?
Well, it took a month or two to get used to being at home, and then by then, I just wished I just wanted to go back to school a lot and a lot. And when I did, I was just so happy. And it did take a little bit of a while to feel better.
Paul, he is and has always been incredibly positive. I mean, just listening to him speak there is just very inspiring. Young man, you must be very, very proud of him.
Very, very much so.
Yeah.
He was saying about the school thing earlier on a group chat in the morning.
Yeah.
He said, "So who's excited about SATs?" And there was like a tumbleweed moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
tumbleweed emojis just gifts came
Only because
flowing.
we got a full English each morning. before
Oh, I
SATs.
like that too.
Yeah, that's the only
in.
reason I was excited.
But also, when you miss something, I mean, even we saw this during COVID, when kids couldn't actually go to school, they were all quite desperate to go
Yeah.
back. You only realise how much you miss it when you have that opportunity taken away from you. And because of this, you did. So,
Yeah.
tell me about last night, because you had a big night last night, didn't you?
Yeah.
Congratulations are in order. You won a...
Anthony Nolan Young Hero Award.
John Tetchy Young Hero Award.
Well done.
Well done, you. So this is young supporters who, aged 16 and under, have made a difference to the lives of other people with blood cancer.
Wow, what an award for you, mate.
well
Well
done.
done.
It was amazing, all the people there.
was
Just
a great night.
completely inspiring.
Yeah.
Came with a warm, fuzzy feeling after. Everyone was so, so lovely.
I bet.
Yeah.
Best.
Paul, how does it work now? Because you can't meet the donor for a while. And Jose actually helped you find the donor, didn't he? So...
Not this one, no.
Oh, my apologies, sorry.
No, that's OK. There was, when they searched the world again, there were 5 9 out of 10s in Brazil first time. This time, there was only one extra 9 out of 10, and they were still in Brazil.
Yeah.
And there was the 10 out of 10 in Portugal, and they will remain anonymous for 2 years.
Right.
And if they want to exchange details with us, then obviously we will.
I mean, that
And
would be
hopefully they do. They did send
Yeah.
a little note with
They
the
did.
thing, so
Yeah.
it's
They did.
looking
So we're-
quite positive.
Yeah.
So we shall wait and see on that one. Now, last time you came here, we gave you an access all area pass, which I saw you had around your neck this morning, and you've
Yeah.
still got, so you could get into
So
all
does
the
that
bits.
pass still let you in?
Yes,
Yes.
straight in this
I
morning.
lose mine about once every 2 weeks.
Because
Very well.
you love telly,
Yeah.
and you were fascinated with how the whole system works here. Since then, we know that you've been putting and uploading lots of videos of you actually being a presenter and talking on telly. That seems to be something that you love.
Yes.
OK, well, we thought after we finish this in a moment, will you read our link into the break?
Yes.
Will you do that? OK,
A little
well...
too keen for me. You also know you're a big theatre fan. Oh, me too. It's the best, isn't it?
Yeah.
You love the theatre, don't you?
I do.
Just because your mum and dad were into it back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we thought you guys might quite like some tickets to Back to the Future, the music.
Oh, my
Just
goodness.
happened to have behind this cushion. So there we go, my friends.
And
Wow.
up
You
until...
don't have to invite your mum and dad.
Don't say that.
I haven't know what am I to do.
So good.
I bet.
Honestly, it's
Amazing.
brilliant. You're going to
you.
love it. So enjoy that.
you.
It's great to see you. Keep in touch. Let us know how you
Will
get
do.
on, and we just wish you well. We really, really do.
Thank
Get ready for your link, OK, because it's coming up in just a moment. If you want to find out more about the stem cell donation, or you would like to sign up to the register, and please do. You can see the difference that it makes here. You can go to the AnthonyNolan.org.
Just to ask, what the process is painful, but quite straightforward, isn't it, if you don't?
To be honest, in 90% of cases, it's not even painful. It's just like giving blood. So the majority of people that go on to be stem cell donors, blood gets taken out, the cells get extracted, and their blood goes back in. Within 2 to 3 weeks, a healthy person will have regenerated those cells. So they've not lost anything at all.
No.
It's very, very unusual nowadays to have the actual bone marrow, but even then, it's a small operation. Jose actually did that for Finn.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some people think they're on it, you know, with the organ.
Sure.
But it's a completely different thing.
Different register.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can save a life.
Yeah.
And it's very simple.
Yeah.
Very, very simple. I mean, you're on the register.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you are now.
I will
as
be
well,
now.
Rebel.
Thank you.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Come on then. Good luck, Finley. Take it
Still
away.
to come, as it's the hottest week of the year, we'll be catching up with Kate live from a water park. That's right, after the break.